Our first story tonight features a spirited fox and a scary wolf. Once upon a time, in a lush forest, nestled between towering trees and babbling brooks, there lived a mischievous young fox named Maki. Maki was known throughout the forest for his cunning ways and playful antics. But above all, he was known for his love of storytelling. As the days turned into weeks, and the weeks into years, Maki's reputation as a master storyteller grew. Every evening, the woodland creatures would gather around him, eager to hear his latest tale. Maki would regale them with stories of brave adventurers, cunning tricksters, and mythical creatures that lurked in the depths of the forest. At first, his stories were grounded in truth, with just a hint of embellishment to captivate his audience. But as Maki's confidence swelled with each passing tale, so did his tendency to stretch the truth. Soon his stories took on a life of their own, filled with fantastical beasts, daring escapades, and impossible feats. Despite the obvious exaggerations, the animals couldn't help but be entertained by Maki's narratives. His vivid descriptions and animated gestures brought the stories to life, transporting his listeners to far-off lands and distant realms. But while the other creatures reveled in Maki's tales, there were whispers of concern among some of the older forest residents. They worried that Maki's habit of exaggerating would lead to trouble, that his stories would blur the line between fact and fiction, sowing seeds of doubt and confusion among the younger animals. Still, Maki paid no attention to their warnings, basking in the adoration of his audience and relishing the attention his stories garnered. Little did he know that his love for embellishment would soon come back to haunt him, leading to consequences he could never have imagined. One day, as Maki lounged lazily under the shade of an old oak tree, an idea struck him like a lightning bolt. With a mischievous gleam in his eye, he decided to play a prank on his unsuspecting neighbors. "Hi, fellow forest friends," Maki called out, his voice ringing through the trees. "A great danger approaches. A ferocious wolf is on the prowl, ready to devour us all." The other animals, startled by Maki's proclamation, quickly gathered around him, fear etched on their little faces. "Where is this wolf, Maki?" asked one of the squirrels, her tail twitching nervously. "Oh, it's lurking just beyond the trees," Maki replied, pointing towards the distant horizon. "Hurry, we must take cover before it's too late." As the animals scattered in panic, Maki's heart raced with excitement. Hidden among the shadows, he couldn't help but feel a thrill coursing through his veins as his prank unfolded exactly as he had envisioned. His eyes sparkled with mischief as he watched his friends scurry for cover, their fear palpable in the air. Peering out from his hiding spot, Maki stifled his laughter, a mischievous grin spreading across his face. He felt a rush of satisfaction at the sight of the forest creatures falling for his deception, hook, line, and sinker. Oh, how he relished the power of his words, the way they could bend reality to his will. With each panicked cry and frenzied dash for safety, Maki's amusement grew, fueling his desire to push the boundaries of his prank even further. He reveled in the chaos he had created, and in the knowledge that he alone held the strings to this elaborate puppet show. But amidst the excitement and adrenaline, a small voice of doubt nagged at the back of Maki's mind. Was he taking his prank too far? Were the consequences of his actions worth the momentary thrill of deception? For a fleeting moment he hesitated, a pang of guilt tugging at his conscience. Yet, as quickly as it had surfaced, Maki brushed aside his doubts, choosing instead to revel in the euphoria of his prank's success. After all, what harm could a little mischief cause in the grand scheme of things? Little did he know that his actions would soon come back to haunt him, teaching him a lesson he would never forget. With each passing day, Maki found himself unable to resist the allure of playing the trickster once more. The thrill of deception coursed through his veins like wildfire, fueling his desire to spin an even grander tale than before. He relished the challenge of crafting a narrative so intricate, so compelling, that his fellow forest dwellers would once again fall under its spell. And so, with a gleam in his eye and a smirk playing at the corners of his mouth, Maki set to work, weaving a web of lies even more elaborate than the last. With each word that dripped from his tongue, he painted a vivid portrait of the wolf's cunning and strength, embellishing the creature's prowess with every flourish of his imagination. The forest creatures, still reeling from their previous fright, were all too eager to believe Maki's tale. Their fear blinded them to the inconsistencies in his story, their hearts pounding with dread at the thought of facing such a formidable foe. Once again, they scattered in terror, their panicked cries echoing through the trees as they sought refuge from an enemy that existed only in Maki's imagination. As Maki watched from the sidelines, a sense of satisfaction washed over him like a warm embrace. He reveled in the chaos he had wrought, the power of his words once again bending reality to his will. Oh, how he relished the adulation of his fellow creatures, their fear and awe, a testament to his skill as a master storyteller. But even as Maki basked in the glow of his deception, a faint whisper of doubt nagged at the back of his mind. Was he truly in control of the situation, or had he unleashed forces beyond his comprehension? Little did he know that his actions would soon come back to haunt him, teaching him a lesson in the consequences of his deceit. But as Maki continued his deception, something unexpected happened. The animals, weary of his constant alarms, began to grow skeptical of his tales. They started to question the truth behind his words, doubting whether there was ever a wolf to fear. On that fateful night, when the moon hung low in the sky like a silent witness to impending doom, the forest was enveloped in an eerie stillness. Shadows danced among the trees, and a palpable tension hung in the air, as if the very forest itself held its breath in anticipation. It was then that the real wolf emerged from the depths of the darkness, its presence sending shivers down the spines of every creature within earshot. Its coat, a tapestry of midnight black and silver moonlight, rippled like liquid silk as it prowled through the underbrush with a predatory grace. The forest fell silent, save for the soft padding of the wolf's paws against the forest floor. A haunting melody that echoed through the trees like a mournful dirge. Its eyes, twin orbs of burning amber, gleamed with hunger and malice as it searched for its next prey. With each step it took, the wolf's growls reverberated through the stillness of the night, a menacing symphony that sent chills down the spines of even the bravest souls. Its scent, carried on the cool night breeze, filled the air with a primal terror that made the heart race and the blood run cold. For the first time in his life, Maki felt a cold sweat break out across his brow as he watched the scene unfold before him. The weight of his deception bore down on him like a leaden cloak, his earlier pranks suddenly feeling insignificant in the face of the very real danger that now stalked the forest. As the wolf drew closer, its gaze locking onto Maki with an intensity that sent a shiver down his spine, he realized the true folly of his actions. He had cried wolf one too many times, and now, faced with the consequences of his deceit, he could only watch helplessly as the predator closed in. In that moment, as the wolf's jaws snapped, Maki knew that he had learned a lesson he would never forget. The forest would forever remember the tale of Maki, the fox who cried wolf, as a cautionary reminder of the dangers of deception and the price of betrayal. Terrified, Maki cried out for help, but this time no one came to his rescue. They had grown tired of Maki's lies and chose to ignore his warnings, believing them to be yet another one of his tricks. As the consequences sank in, Maki found himself facing the very real threat of the wolf alone. His fellow forest dwellers, having grown weary of his constant alarms, had turned a deaf ear to his cries for help, leaving him to fend for himself against the merciless predator. With adrenaline coursing through his veins, Maki knew that he had no choice but to stand his ground and face the wolf head-on. Drawing upon every ounce of courage he possessed, he squared his shoulders and prepared to confront the creature that now loomed before him, its bared fangs glinting in the moonlight. As the wolf lunged forward with a ferocious growl, Maki's instincts kicked into overdrive, guiding him through a deadly dance of survival. As the wolf lunged forward with a ferocious growl, Maki's instincts kicked into overdrive, guiding him through a deadly dance of survival. With lightning-fast reflexes, he dodged and weaved, narrowly avoiding the razor-sharp teeth that snapped at his heels with each passing moment. The forest echoed with the sound of their struggle, a symphony of snarls and yelps that reverberated through the trees like a primal battle cry. Branches snapped and leaves rustled as Maki fought tooth and nail to evade the wolf's relentless pursuit, his heart pounding in his chest with each near miss. But just when it seemed that all hope was lost, Maki spotted a glimmer of salvation on the horizon. A narrow gap between the trees offered a fleeting opportunity for escape, a slender thread of hope that beckoned to him like a lifeline in the darkness. With one final burst of speed, Maki made a daring leap for freedom, his muscles straining with the effort as he propelled himself towards the safety of the dense underbrush. The wolf's jaws snapped shut just inches from his tail, its frustrated snarl echoing through the night as Maki vanished from its grasp. As he stumbled to safety, adrenaline still coursing through his veins, Maki knew that he had narrowly escaped a fate worse than death. But as the first rays of dawn broke over the horizon, casting a golden glow upon the forest floor, he also realized the true cost of his deception. From that day forward, Maki learned the importance of honesty and integrity. He vowed never to deceive his fellow creatures again, knowing that trust, once broken, is not easily mended. And though the forest would never forget the tale of Maki, the fox who cried wolf, they also learned a valuable lesson about the dangers of deceit. Eeeh, that was close. I'm happy Maki made it. Our next story is magical and not scary at all, I promise. Once upon a time, nestled in a quaint little village, there lived a young girl named Rosa. Rosa was a curious soul with eyes as bright as the morning sun and a heart as tender as the petals of the roses in her garden. Rosa's bubbly personality and gentle demeanor made her dear to everyone who met her. But what really set Rosa apart from the other children in the village was her remarkable garden, where she nurtured something truly extraordinary. In her garden, every breath was tinged with a hint of something extraordinary, an intangible presence that danced upon the breeze. The air itself felt alive with the hum of hidden energies, as if the very atmosphere crackled with the whispers of ancient secrets waiting to be revealed. And amidst the symphony, the flowers stood as silent sentinels, their petals trembling with the weight of untold tales. Rosa's garden was in no way an ordinary patch of earth. It was a sanctuary of enchantment, where the boundaries between reality and fantasy blurred into one. Here the plants held a mysterious power, a gift passed down through generations untold. They were not just flowers, but storytellers in their own right, their roots delving deep into the soil to draw forth narratives as old as time itself. From the towering sunflowers, their golden faces turned towards the sun in silent reverence, to the delicate daisies that danced in the soft caress of the wind. Each plant bore the sacred burden of storytelling. Their leaves whispered secrets to the passing breeze, their blooms sang songs of forgotten worlds, and with every sway and rustle, they wove tapestries of imagination that stretched far beyond the confines of the garden wall. Every day Rosa watered the soil with gentle hands and sang lullabies to the buds as they unfolded into blossoms. And in return, her garden flourished, painting the air with fragrant whispers and vibrant colors. In Rosa's garden, the language of the flowers was one of magic and wonder, a dialect understood only by those who dared to listen with open hearts. And as Rosa tended to her garden with gentle hands and loving care, she became privy to the secrets that lay buried within its soil, the stories waiting to be unearthed and shared with the world. Rosa's garden lay nestled behind her quaint cottage, shielded from the hustle and bustle of the outside world by a rustic wooden fence entwined with ivy and morning glory vines. As one stepped through the wrought iron gate adorned with intricate patterns of twisting vines, they were greeted by a symphony of colors and scents that danced upon the air. The garden was a patchwork of beauty, with winding pathways meandering between beds of flowers in every hue imaginable. At the heart of the garden stood a majestic oak tree, its gnarled branches reaching skyward like ancient fingers grasping at the heavens. Beneath its sprawling canopy, a circle of moss-covered stones formed a cozy nook where Rosa would often sit listening to the whispers of the wind and the murmurs of the earth. But it was the flowers that truly stole the show in Rosa's garden. They bloomed in a riot of colors, from the fiery reds of the roses to the cool blues of the forget-me-nots. Each flower seemed to possess a personality of its own, a spirit that shimmered with life and energy. There were sunflowers standing tall and proud, their golden faces turned towards the sun as if in silent worship. Butterflies flitted from bloom to bloom, their delicate wings brushing against the petals in a gentle caress. And hidden among the foliage, tiny creatures like fairies and sprites danced in the dappled sunlight, their laughter ringing out like tinkling bells. But what truly set Rosa's garden apart was the magic that lay beneath the surface. For within the soil, hidden from prying eyes, lay the secret of its enchantment. It was here that the plants possessed the extraordinary ability to weave tales from the very essence of their being, crafting stories that unfolded with each passing day. As Rosa tended to her garden with loving care, the plants would reward her with tales, unfurling them like delicate petals in the breeze. And as she wandered through the garden, she would find herself swept away on adventures beyond her wildest imagination, guided by the whispers of the flowers and the rustle of the leaves. In Rosa's garden, magic bloomed with every flower that unfurled its petals, and wonder thrived in every corner. It was a place where dreams took root and stories blossomed, a sanctuary of enchantment that whispered of endless possibilities. And amidst it all stood Rosa, the guardian of this wondrous realm, her heart forever intertwined with the magic of her beloved garden. The soil formed a tapestry of stories waiting to be told, and with every petal that bloomed and every leaf that unfurled, Rosa found herself transported into worlds beyond her wildest dreams. One day Rosa would find herself wandering through enchanted forests that seemed to breathe with life. Here the trees swayed in rhythmic harmony to the gentle melody of the wind, their branches reaching out like graceful dancers caught in an eternal waltz. Sunlight filtered through the verdant canopy, casting dappled patterns of gold upon the forest floor, while hidden creatures rustled among the ferns and moss, their presence felt rather than seen. As Rosa walked beneath the towering boughs, she felt as if she had stepped into a realm untouched by time, where magic lingered in every whisper of the leaves and every shaft of light. But then, just as swiftly as the forest had appeared, Rosa would find herself soaring through the boundless expanse of the skies. Perched upon the back of a mythical creature, her fingers entwined in its silken mane, she would ride the winds with wild abandon, her laughter mingling with the rush of air as they streaked across the heavens. Below them, constellations winked like distant jewels, painting the night sky with their celestial glow, while shooting stars streaked by in fleeting bursts of light. It was a world of limitless possibility, where the boundaries of reality dissolved into the vastness of space. And Rosa felt as if she were part of something greater than herself. Each story was a doorway to a new adventure, a portal to realms uncharted and dreams untold. And with every journey, Rosa's soul stirred with a sense of wonder and excitement, as if she were touching the very fabric of creation itself. For in these magical tales, she found not just escape, but a deeper understanding of herself and the world around her. A reminder that within the heart of every story lies the power to inspire, to uplift, and to transform. As Rosa grew older, the significance of her garden's mystical gift grew clearer to her. With newfound wisdom and understanding, she recognized that the tales spun by her plants were not meant to remain confined within the boundaries of her imagination. They were gifts meant to be shared with the world, to ignite the same sense of wonder and enchantment in others that had stirred her own soul for so long. Armed with paper and pen, Rosa embarked on a journey of creation, weaving the stories whispered to her by her beloved garden into tangible works of art. With every stroke of her pen, she breathed life into the characters and landscapes that had once only existed in her mind's eye, transforming them into vibrant tapestries of words that danced across the page. As the ink flowed and the pages filled, Rosa felt a profound sense of fulfillment wash over her, a feeling unlike any other she had ever known. It was as if she were channeling the very essence of her garden's magic, capturing its elusive spirit in the delicate strokes of her writing. With each story she penned, Rosa's connection to her garden deepened, as if the roots of the plants themselves had intertwined with her own. But more than just a means of self-expression, Rosa's writing became a bridge connecting her world to that of others. Through her books, readers were transported to the same enchanting realms that had captivated her own imagination, invited to embark on journeys of discovery and wander alongside her. And as her stories found their way into the hands of eager readers, Rosa realized that she had become not just a storyteller, but a custodian of magic, a guardian of the wondrous tales that had once only existed within her garden. Word of Rosa's magical tales soon spread throughout the village, and people from far and wide came to hear her stories. They marveled at the wonders she spun, losing themselves in the realms of fantasy and adventure that her words created. And as Rosa's books found their way into the hands of readers across the land, her garden bloomed with newfound splendor, its stories spreading far and wide. Amidst the whirlwind of fame and acclaim that surrounded her, Rosa remained rooted in the humble soil of her garden, her sanctuary of serenity amidst the clamor of the outside world. Though her books adorned shelves far and wide, and her name echoed in conversations across the land, she never allowed herself to stray too far from the tranquil haven that had given birth to her dreams. No matter how many accolades she received or how many awards adorned her mantle, Rosa's heart remained steadfastly tethered to the place where it all began, the garden that had nurtured her imagination and shaped her destiny. For it was within the sacred confines of this oasis that she had first discovered the magic that lay dormant within her soul. And it was here that she returned time and time again to replenish her spirit and draw inspiration from the whispers of the flowers. As she watched the petals dance in the gentle embrace of the breeze, and listened to the soft murmurs of the foliage, Rosa felt a sense of peace wash over her, a quiet reassurance that no matter where her adventures took her, she would always find solace in the familiar embrace of her garden. For it was here, amidst the rustling leaves and the fragrant blooms, that she truly felt alive, her spirit soaring on wings of purest joy. And as she gazed out upon the expanse of greenery that stretched before her, Rosa knew that her greatest adventure was just beginning. For though she had already journeyed to distant realms and spun countless tales of wonder, there were still untold stories waiting to be discovered, and new horizons waiting to be explored. With the gentle touch of the sun upon her face and the earth beneath her feet, Rosa embarked upon the next chapter of her journey, her heart brimming with anticipation for the adventures that lay ahead in the boundless expanse of her imagination. I can just imagine how magical it would be to sit there under the great oak tree and listen to stories spun in the roots of beautiful flowers. Just magical. Our last story tonight is about a sweet little bear cub by the name of Willow. Once upon a time, nestled deep within the lush forests of the great north, a young bear cub named Willow emerged from her cozy den, blinking her sleepy eyes at the bright spring sunlight filtering through the leaves. Inside the den, the world seemed to hold its breath, wrapped in a cocoon of tranquility. Willow's den was a masterpiece of nature's craftsmanship, a sanctuary carved into the earth with care and precision. The walls, composed of compacted soil and roots, formed a protective barrier against the elements, while a thick layer of fur and moss provided insulation against the chill of the night. Rays of sunlight filtered through the entrance, casting warm patches of light onto the earthen floor, where delicate tendrils of grass and wildflowers peeked through the soil. The air was alive with the earthy scent of pine and damp earth, mingled with the comforting aroma of her mother's fur. Luna, Willow's mother, lay curled up beside her, her massive form a comforting presence in the dimness of the den. Her breath was a soft whisper against Willow's fur, a soothing lullaby that echoed through the silent chamber. Outside, the forest teemed with life, but inside the den, all was quiet and still. Here in the cozy haven, Willow felt safe and loved, cocooned in the warmth of her mother's embrace. And as she blinked her sleepy eyes at the bright spring sunlight filtering through the leaves, she knew that she was ready to emerge from her den and embrace the wonders of the world outside. Outside the den was a world she had only heard about through the muffled sounds and gentle warmth of her mother's embrace during the long winter months. Now, as the world around her awakened from its slumber, Willow's curiosity sparked like the first flickers of dawn. With hesitant steps, she ventured out into the dappled light, her small nose twitching at the myriad scents carried on the breeze. The forest seemed to stretch endlessly before her, a vast tapestry of green and gold, alive with the songs of birds and the rustle of leaves. Each rustle and chirp was a symphony to her ears, a melody of the wild waiting to be explored. As Willow padded through the underbrush, her senses were overwhelmed by the vibrant sights and sounds of spring. Delicate flowers carpeted the forest floor, their petals unfurling like tiny dancers in the morning dew. Sunbeams filtered through the canopy above, casting intricate patterns of light and shadow on the forest floor. Everything was new and alive, pulsating with the rhythm of the changing seasons. With each step, Willow discovered something new. A sparkling stream, a hidden glade, a patch of sunlight filtering through the trees. She chased after butterflies, her laughter echoing through the trees like the tinkling of bells. She paused to sniff at wildflowers, inhaling their sweet fragrance with delight. And when a gentle rain shower passed through the forest, she tilted her head back, letting the cool droplets cascade over her fur, feeling the world come alive with every drop. For Willow, every moment was a revelation, a glimpse into a world beyond the confines of her den. And as she wandered deeper into the heart of the forest, she knew that the adventure had only just begun. With a playful bounce in her step, Willow followed her mother, Luna, as they ventured into the green wilderness. The air was filled with the sweet scent of blooming flowers, and the sound of birdsong echoed through the trees. Willow's curiosity knew no bounds as she explored her surroundings, sniffing at flowers, chasing butterflies, and splashing in clear streams. As the days turned warmer and summer painted the forest in vibrant hues, Willow's spirit soared with the rising sun. With each passing day, she grew bolder and more adventurous, her once hesitant steps now replaced with confident bounds through the meadows and woods. Under the watchful eye of her mother, Willow honed her skills in the art of survival. Luna patiently taught her how to fish in the crystal clear rivers. Guiding her, she learned to patiently wait for the perfect moment to snatch a darting trout from the water's surface. Willow's heart swelled with pride each time she successfully caught her own meal, the taste of fresh fish filling her with a sense of accomplishment. In the shade of towering trees, Luna showed Willow the secrets of foraging for food. Together they searched for ripe berries nestled among the bushes, their fingers stained with the sweet juices of their harvest. Willow marveled at the bounty of the forest, her senses heightened as she learned to distinguish between the various fruits and plants that would sustain them through the long summer days. But it wasn't just survival that fueled Willow's thirst for adventure. With each passing day, she discovered new wonders hidden within the forest's depths. She scaled towering trees with newfound agility, her claws gripping the rough bark as she climbed higher and higher, her laughter mingling with the rustle of leaves. In the meadows, she danced among the wildflowers, her fur shimmering in the golden light of the setting sun. She chased after butterflies, her playful antics sending the colorful insects spiraling into the air. And when the night fell, she lay beneath a blanket of stars, her heart filled with wonder at the beauty of the world around her. Every day was an adventure filled with laughter and exploration. And as summer's warmth enveloped the forest in its embrace, Willow reveled in the joy of living, knowing that each moment was a precious gift to be cherished. As the days grew shorter and the sun's warm embrace waned, Willow felt a subtle shift in the forest. The air carried a hint of crispness, a harbinger of the changing seasons. With each passing day, the leaves began their slow transformation, splashing the landscape with fiery hues of red, orange, and gold. It was a breathtaking spectacle, a reminder of nature's eternal dance. One crisp morning, as Willow and Luna set out on their customary wanderings through the woods, they stumbled upon a clearing unlike any they had seen before. The air was alive with anticipation, tingling with the promise of something magical. And there, beneath the canopy of ancient trees, lay a blanket of pure, powdery white. Willow's eyes widened in wonder as she gazed upon the pristine snow, her breath forming delicate puffs of mist in the chilly air. She tentatively reached out a paw, her fur prickling with excitement as she felt the cold embrace of the snowflakes. Luna watched with a knowing smile, her eyes alight with fondness for her curious cub. Together they ventured into the clearing, their paw prints leaving a trail of imprints in the freshly fallen snow. Willow's heart swelled with joy as she frolicked through the soft powder, her laughter echoing through the silent forest. She chased after swirling snowflakes, her movements graceful and free, like a dancer twirling in a winter's dream. For Willow, it was a moment of pure enchantment, a glimpse into a world transformed by the touch of winter's magic. And as she looked up at the sky, where fat snowflakes danced in lazy spirals, she knew that this was just the beginning of a new and wondrous adventure. Wide-eyed with wonder, Willow approached cautiously, her nose twitching at the unfamiliar scent. She tentatively dipped a paw into the soft snow, watching in amazement as it clung to her fur. Then, with a gleeful bark, she began to frolic, rolling around in the cold fluff and shaping it into a lopsided snowball. With Luna's guidance, Willow eagerly embraced the wonders of winter. With each passing day, she grew more adept at navigating the snowy landscape, her once clumsy paws now nimble and sure-footed as she bounded through the drifts. Together, mother and cub ventured into the glittering expanse, their breath forming clouds of mist in the frigid air. With playful abandon, they sculpted snowmen with carrot noses and coal eyes, their laughter ringing through the silent forest as they brought their frosty creations to life. But it was the art of building an igloo that truly captured Willow's imagination. With Luna's gentle guidance, she learned to stack icy blocks one upon the other, her claws scraping against the frozen surface as she worked diligently to fashion a shelter from the winter cold. It was slow going at first, with Willow's enthusiasm often getting the better of her. But with Luna's patient encouragement, she persevered, her determination driving her forward even when her paws grew numb with cold. And when the igloo was finally complete, it stood as a testament to their bond, a cozy refuge nestled amidst the swirling snowflakes. Inside, the air was warm and inviting, the icy walls serving as a barrier against the biting wind outside. Willow snuggled close to Luna, her fur mingling with her mother's as they shared stories of winters past and dreams of springs yet to come. As the snow fell gently outside, casting a soft glow upon the forest floor, Willow felt a sense of peace settle over her like a warm blanket. Here in the heart of winter's embrace, surrounded by the love of her mother, she knew that she was home. And as she drifted off to sleep, the rhythmic sound of Luna's breathing, a comforting lullaby, she knew that no matter what the future held, they would face it together as a family. As the days grew shorter and the nights stretched longer, Willow found herself drawn deeper into the embrace of the winter wonderland. The forest transformed into a realm of enchantment, where every pine needle was dusted with snow, and every breath hung like a cloud in the frosty air. With each passing day, Willow's appreciation for the beauty of the frosted landscape deepened. She marveled at the delicate patterns etched into the ice, tracing intricate designs with her paw as she wandered through the snowy wilderness. The world around her seemed to glow with an ethereal light, as if touched by the hand of a benevolent winter sprite. In the quiet moments of twilight, when the forest lay bathed in the soft glow of moonlight, Willow found solace in the stillness of winter night. She would sit by the entrance of their cozy igloo, watching as the snowflakes danced in the silver light, feeling a sense of peace settle over her like a gentle snowfall. And when it was time to retreat to the warmth of their snug shelter, Willow would nestle close to her beloved mama bear, their fur mingling together in a cocoon of warmth and love. Luna's steady heartbeat served as a comforting rhythm, lulling Willow into a deep and restful sleep. In those quiet moments as she drifted off to sleep, Willow felt a profound sense of gratitude for the bond she shared with her mother. Theirs was a connection forged in the heart of the wilderness, strong as the ancient trees and as enduring as the ever-changing seasons. And as she snuggled closer to Luna, feeling the comforting weight of their presence beside her, Willow knew with a certainty that no matter what trials lay ahead, their bond would endure. For in the vast expanse of the forest, where time flowed like a gentle stream, their love would remain steadfast and true, a beacon of warmth and light amidst the winter's chill. In the cozy confines of their snug igloo, Willow and Luna nestled together in a warm embrace, their fur intermingling like strands of silver and gold beneath the soft glow of the moonlight filtering through the icy walls. Luna's massive form provided a protective barrier around Willow, enveloping her in a cocoon of warmth and security. As they settled in for the night, Willow pressed herself against Luna's side, feeling the comforting rhythm of her mother's steady heartbeat beneath her ear. Luna's breath was a gentle whisper against her fur, warm and soothing against the chill of the winter night. Willow closed her eyes, allowing herself to relax into the comforting embrace, her senses attuned to the sounds of the forest outside. Outside, the world was hushed and still. The only sound, the occasional whisper of the wind through the trees, and the soft crunch of snow beneath the feet of passing animals. But inside their igloo, all was calm and peaceful, as if they were cocooned in a bubble of tranquility amidst the chaos of the world outside. As they lay there together, Willow felt a profound sense of contentment wash over her like a gentle tide. In the darkness of the igloo, with Luna's comforting presence beside her, she felt safe and loved, her worries and fears melting away like snowflakes on a warm spring day. slowly, as the night wore on, their breaths began to synchronize, rising and falling in a steady rhythm like the ebb and flow of the tide. Willow felt herself drifting off into a deep and restful sleep, lulled by the soothing sound of Luna's breathing and the comforting warmth of her embrace. Good night, little ones. Sleep tight.